Well, hello there, all you cool cats and kittens.
Who are the cats and kittens?
That's not our name.
Jesus. I knew they wouldn't get it, too.
You guys don't get that?
No, of course they don't, because they didn't
Oh,
watch.
my guys, we're a pop
Tiger
culture
King.
business. Come on.
No.
Guys,
Oh,
we're
I mean, I
supposed to
didn't
be in
watch
the
Tiger
loop.
King, but I
Why
know.
is there a new episode?
No, it just came to me. But guys, our whole pitch is that we're pop culture relevant
I know,
business
but
people.
I like to steer away from stupidity.
Oh my gosh. I should probably leave then. I guess.
Cats and kittens, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Never a cat guy. I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah, cats suck ass.
Cats
Just
are
for the
disgusting.
record, I'm going to start this episode off right. Cats suck ass. And
Yeah.
if you have a cat, get rid of it.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
We used to
welcome
have 2 cats in college, and we got
welcome
rid
to
of them.
group chat.
Why did you have cats in college? That's the weirdest pet.
You're a
It wasn't
weirdo,
just
dude.
me. Like all my roommates
Were
and I
you-
were like,
you
"Let's
were-
get cats," and then we
You're
got 2
weird.
twin cats, and they were crazy.
Did you have
They tore everything apart.
men as roommates?
Yes.
So
Man.
a group of men.
Literally,
men
there was
had a bunch of
5
little kitties.
guys.
Five
We were
guys.
like, let's get 2 baby kittens.
Oh my
I think you
And
guys were
within-
doing sexual things to these cats.
No.
For sure. Just like freaking Joe
No, stop.
Exotic,
It doesn't.
man.
Why does it always have to go there?
You guys had your own little animal sanctuary.
No,
You had your own
maybe,
little animal.
no.
Your Joe
I
Exotic.
don't think
was-
there's any chance Dee would have hired you if he knew that.
That- I kept that off my resume.
Yes, the more
Yeah.
I get to know about Pete, the less I trust him.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just saying, I go out socially with you one night, trust you a little less.
Let's just put it like this. Imagine some guy walks in and he goes, "Hey, I'm from Wisconsin. I lived with 4 guys and we had 2 cats."
Yeah, anyone got a job for me?
Yeah.
Say,
Why would we
get
hire
out of here?
why would that be my pitch?
It's
Security.
certainly possible, like, if you rewind and see what Pete was like in Wisconsin, he just made this, I'm going to be a new person. I'm going to be a new person.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a new person.
For
He showed
sure.
up here. This is all an act.
What's it?
It's an act.
In Wizard of Oz? There's no place like
like
home.
home.
There's no
Yeah,
place
yeah,
like
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm no longer in Wisconsin.
I no longer have those cats.
I do not love cats. I do not love cats. I bet you his friends from Wisconsin like hit him up like, dude, what are you talking about? That's not you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh my
yo, dude,
God.
like Costa Brava.
Got
like
some
anyone.
fake glasses on and
No.
Yeah.
These are
We're a cool black cat.
God hat. Yo, my God hat. I'm going for a run with the Run Club.
At least I can get under a 10-minute mile.
That hurt, man. That was unfair. Okay, so on that note, time to move on.
Yeah.
Jesus, man. Okay. I want to start with some positivity, even though we just started off with whole fuck cats thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to reel that back in. So we talked about before, we really wanted to highlight, we were asking our audience if anyone wanted to advertise. We were going to be advertising only with our listeners. That's actually been working out even in these tough times. But we really want to take the a moment to also highlight cool things that our listeners are doing or bringing to our attention or what people are doing in these tough times. So that being said, let's talk about staying inside the lines.
stay inside the lines.
Yeah,
I butchered
mixed
it.
you up.
The problem is
I
it's
butchered it.
stay inside the lines, and then it says staying inside the lines.
Yeah.
So it's a little.
Yeah,
That's
so,
the clickbait. That's the title.
So stayinsidethelines.co. It's Galen Driver, who's a listener of ours, created a free downloadable print-at-home coloring book that launched 2 weeks ago. He used a local network of artists, I think in the Seattle area, if I'm correct, and gave something for people to download and just kind of pass time, and gave exposure to artists that are probably struggling during this time, just to kind of figure out how to connect with people.
Yeah.
So it's great. Like, I think the art community is a very important community, and kids need coloring books. My kid right now is shitty at coloring. He cannot go inside the lines.
Oh my gosh.
He's just like,
So this is
just put him on
perfect
blast.
practice.
he's just like,
Maybe sign him up for this program.
yeah, I'm going to have to download and see what he actually can stay inside the lines. It's
I wonder
quite
what age.
when you start coloring
Yeah,
lines.
what age you start staying inside the lines in life and in coloring
mean,
books?
I had awful penmanship. I don't think I could color within the lines right now.
It's hard.
Really?
Are you guys
Really?
fucking kidding me?
I mean, if I wrote something down, it's like barely legible.
Yeah, but like but you're talking about like notebook lines, right? Like coloring book lines. Like at what age does a kid like actually sort of conceptualize? Oh, this is a jacket.
Well, yeah, Dom's not there yet.
Okay.
I can tell you
Probably
that
like
much.
6 though, right?
I'd say, I feel
Maybe
like
he's not a conformist. That's
Yeah.
just his personality.
he's just like,
like
you know what?
that.
I'm not going to stay inside the lines.
Yeah.
Inside the
You're not going to hold me back.
Just like his dad.
Yeah.
Does it his own way.
He literally the other night, he's got like a big personality. He goes to my wife and I and goes, You two are going to put me to sleep right now.
No.
What?
That's
And
pretty good.
because he's learning how to use his fingers to say two.
Yeah.
So he goes, you two. I was like,
Oh, man.
boss, baby.
You got a problem. Man.
Let me guess, you guys both walked in and put his ass to sleep.
Yes, sir. Yes, we will. Okay, so check that out. It's stayinsidethelines.co.
Correct.
Check it out. So, and shout out to everyone out there doing a good thing. Another little thing, we have a birthday shout out.
Yeah.
Seth Weingartner.
Take it away, Pete.
Happy birthday, Seth.
Is this your homie?
What?
No.
No.
Is this your homie? Are you getting paid
no,
for this?
his
He's been running ads.
What kind of
secretly.
product trade did you do to get
Don't
this?
worry about that.
Shout
kind of
out.
weed
Don't
did
worry
you get?
about that.
What kind of weed did they pay you in? To
Not
get
any kind of weed. I told you I don't really smoke weed. I don't even want Danny's weed. Danny's
not-
trying to give me weed. I don't want Danny's weed.
That's not what the stash in Dee's office says.
Well, I had to do that.
Okay, let's talk about Seth. It's his moment.
Seth, happy birthday, man. I don't know. Your
turning
wife.
30.
Turning 30.
May
big one.
1st.
Your wife messaged in, said he wanted to do a big surprise for you, so here's a surprise.
That's amazing.
Happy birthday.
I think 30 is when like you realize, you're undeniably an adult.
Yeah.
30. So I experienced this when I was turning 30, which was like, I don't know. I think I was like probably the only time in my life that I felt a little depressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yikes.
What did we do for your 30th? We were in Philippines.
Yeah, but that was like a last minute. Maybe prior to that, I didn't feel good about life.
Shakies. We had a great week.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Shaky's?
Yeah.
Shakies straight into a
you had a good
Philippines,
week.
Hong Kong 30th
You were
birthday.
depressed the whole time? We
Well,
didn't even
no.
know?
Leading up to turning 30, I think what happens, specifically for men, I'm sure it's a different age for women. I think like you have an expectation of what your life should be at 30.
Yeah.
And most people obviously don't hit it. So I used to call it like a 30 life crisis. And I saw younger friends of mine go through it.
Yeah.
That, when they were turning 30, they also went through like a little weird slump. It turns out the 30s are like the best years of your life.
Especially early 30s before real responsibility
Yes.
comes.
Oh, I mean, let me tell you guys about my life. Not a kid, not a wife. I
Yeah.
just,
Cruising.
quarantine. I played Call of Duty last night till 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
No one cares.
He's regularly doing this now.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, but I think 30, I think for men specifically, that's why I said most men in their 30s are pieces of shit because you're a selfish person, you're just enjoying life.
Yeah, that got a lot of love. A lot of people resonated with that, mainly girls.
I remember when I turned 30, the biggest thing was your late 20s. You've kind of like figured out your personality. You know who you are. You have confidence. And then when you start hitting in your 30s, what freaked me out is like, oh my God, I'm actually a real adult now.
Yeah.
In your late 20s, you can still fake it. Like, I'm not old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
have
true.
to do anything. And then the 30s is where you have to start thinking about bigger life choices.
Yeah.
But don't get bogged down in it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. 30s are great.
Yeah.
Especially, because I think 40 shit probably gets real.
40, I don't know, I'll tell
Why
you.
say you're not? Are you
How old
not
are you?
40?
30, how many-
39.
A big
Oh,
40.
you're 39?
He turns
Yeah.
40 in a few months.
I'll tell you, I'm definitely in better shape than I was when I was 29.
Well, send us a review when you get there. Let us
Yeah.
know back here.
Yeah.
What it's like. And if you're depressed this time, just tell us, man. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Don't hide.
Don't just go get a panic attack.
Yeah. Don't keep that in and
Well-
freaking take us to Shakey's and act like everything's all good.
My 40th birthday, if we're allowed to have birthdays, we'll still be at Shakey's.
You get your name on the sign.
I
right?
tried to, I inquired like a month ago, 2 months right before all this happened, about trying to rent one out completely.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, why do you pretty much want to do that?
Yeah. I mean, you can
mean,
do that and
if-
invite 6 people.
If this Shakey's is still open where we did 30.
Yeah.
It was right here, San Vicente and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olympic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's a good one. For
I've
that.
had all major milestone birthdays there. 21.
Really?
I popped in there on my 21st, probably 13.
Is there a
16.
Shakey's in the Valley or no?
Oh, yeah.
There's tons.
Big.
Where should I go for my birthday once we get out of quarantine?
When's your birthday?
May 12th. So I'll still be in.
Uh,
2 weeks.
Oh, you're not going anywhere.
you're
What are you
turning
talking about?
24?
No.
Go on Zoom.
No, when we get out.
I know, but even when we get out,
Oh, I'm still throwing a birthday party.
Wait, you're saying your birthday's in May. You're not going to be out.
but even in June, you won't be out. Like the way you're not going to be at some
Guys, if it's
shit.
even next May before we get out,
Oh, you're saying next year?
I'm just saying when we do get out.
See, he's saying if we're open in August, he's having a party in August.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's all.
I'm just saying.
Just pick one of those those white waterfront area things where all white.
That was the original plan,
Yeah,
but
don't
I'm
you
just
just need like a
curious.
bottomless situation?
Bottomless coastal
Yes,
rock.
Something bottomless in Santa Monica, you're fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
clearly I already had that as the original plan. I was looking for a new possible.
No, just
plan.
stay in your lane.
Stay
Okay.
bottomless.
Just stay inside the
curious.
line.
Something off Ocean PCH over there. High concentration of 20-something-year-old white males.
Cool.
Yeah, keep it on brand, Pete.
Everyone's on scooters.
Come on. Okay.
Party bus.
Shout out Seth. And then the next thing is you guys got some info on this Magic Leap mystery company that Google has?
Well, I got it from a friend of mine who listens to the podcast, Ian Rogers, who lives in Paris. He sent me, ironically, a 6.5-minute voice note.
So that's interesting right off the bat. He listens to the podcast. He knows Dee's strong views on voice notes.
Yeah. So I gave him the two things I thought he's probably like, you fuck, you're going to listen to my voice note. So I was
It's
like,
just
okay.
a flex.
A flex. 2, he is American, but he lives in Paris, so he's a foreigner.
Yeah. Maybe English is getting a little tough to type.
Starting to get a little foggy.
Yeah, so he sends a note and really interesting perspective on Magic Leap, which is probably what all venture investors probably have a very similar mindset, or people in technology in general, is that he agrees the commercial viability of Magic Leap failed, but the progress he made from a technology standpoint may not be successful in under the Magic Leap business model, but someone will run with what they did get started, and it could work in some other business, or the technology will get used at some point. It just may not be.
Do we know what the technology is?
So, it's around augmented reality stuff, and I honestly can't explain it, but I think his notion is that, like, if you take like a Steve Jobs and you take people like who had like what they did with Apple II computers and then Next technology, and then like actually what ended up becoming the iPhone years later, is that you need these moonshot ideas because it does, from a technology standpoint, push the universe forward. The only problem I have with that is if Google was the main investor and Google says, you know what, we are sitting on a ton of cash, we don't mind torching $2 billion for the betterment of humanity and technology. Okay, I'm fine with that. I do have a problem when investors that have taken public money and they invest in total moonshot ideas.
What do you mean by that?
Mean like a venture firm, like Andreessen Horowitz, right?
Yeah.
So if they poured in billions of dollars, I don't know how much they gave this company. Let's say they gave $100 million. If they said, okay, a portion of our portfolio is taking even more risk than we normally take on business models that may or may not pan out because we think it's good to push society forward, that's fine. But like, it's just at the end of the day, if people don't know this, when you raise a fund, these big funds, the money normally comes from anything from pension funds, endowments from colleges. It's just like public money for the most part. So like when you're taking these massive high bet risks, I get nervous.
That's fine. I hear what you're saying in theory, but anyone who's investing in Andreessen Horowitz or Sequoia in these endowment funds that are allocating capital, they know the risk they're taking.
Yeah.
So it's not like an uneducated investor betting on Andreessen Horowitz and getting shocked that they took these moonshot bets. And Andreessen Horowitz, this is why what I think Mark Andreessen's letter was so good, and despite all the criticism, which was unwarranted in my opinion, how he said, let's build, I want to invest behind building, and everyone said, what have you done? What have you done? Andreessen Horowitz, their track record has been taking moonshot bets that do advance humanity. They've got multiple funds that are in biotech. They take bets like Magic Leap, whether they're right or wrong. That's the bet you're taking as an endowment fund. You're not allocating. It's 5 to 10% of an endowment fund goes to high risk VCs. So I think Andreessen Horowitz is actually, despite what return profiles are across the board, they actually put their money where their mouth is. Where sure their goal is to make money, but they backed crypto before everyone else. That's supposed to advance society.
Yeah,
and they're taking high risk bets. And his letter. The only thing I wish he would have added to just shut up all the critics is like, this is what I think we should do forward. And guess what? Fuck you. We've been doing this for a decade.
Yeah. Okay. But I think, and I think where I still have a problem is if it's Google's private money and they are sitting on it, I don't really care. I still have an issue when funds. I think it's going to be hard for me to get over it because I know some of those bets will pay off and I'll 100x the fund, and I'm sure it'll all work out. I just think that like I understand the progress I magically could have made for society as a failed business. There's a plenty of businesses that failed. Like we needed the pets.coms of the world to fail to bring out the internet, what we see
To bring
today.
out Chewy.
To bring out Chewy or to bring out e-commerce. Like all those companies in 98, 99, 2000 that failed needed to happen. Like if we didn't get Yahoo, we would have never gotten Google.
Sure.
So
Friendster, you don't get Facebook.
exactly. Yeah. So, or Face Smash.
Face Smash. Yeah, I give credit to Facebook to the Winklevi.
Yeah, especially after
I'm
Bitcoin
in the middle
billionaires.
of Bitcoin billionaires. Those guys got a bad deal.
Yeah, it changes your opinion real quick.
But I will say separately, there hasn't been a space that's been a bigger disappointment in the last decade than VR and AR.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Nothing has come of it.
what a joke.
Well,
And there's been billion. I mean, this one company got $2.6 billion in capital.
Oculus Donut.
Donut. And then think about it, it's tens of billions of dollars been thrown in one space and they haven't developed anything.
I think the fundamental problem with it is that no one wants to wear a stupid fucking headset.
We're wearing masks.
Yeah, that's
Out of function,
true.
right? Like we
But you
don't
would
want to wear.
Remember Google glasses? That was DOA. Snap had some shitty glasses too, didn't they?
Yeah.
I just feel like you would think that like
Snap glasses were the worst
But they were
thing to
hot
ever
for
come
like
on
a
the market.
month. They're real hot.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they
for
were.
maybe a month.
Yeah.
I just feel like when you watch kids, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm new to gaming, but like you sit there with big ass headphones on and a mic and a controller, and it just seems like if it was good enough, you'd put these little goggles on and be in your living room. It's like a Wii, but with goggles.
Are you chatting with like random 14-year-olds at 1:30?
No.
Little Billy.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your mom, bitch.
Yeah.
No,
Dropping N-bombs.
just fully adopting the culture.
He's one of those guys.
Racial
I
slur.
have a 12-pack of Mountain Dew in my fridge. No, but I just bought headphones because I learned that you can, like I play with kids from people from the office, and you can communicate with them. So I don't talk to any strangers. I don't know how to do that yet. But once I do, I'll be talking shit to those little kids. But the point is, it just seems like if it was good enough and the demand was there, people would wear goggles. It just seems so weird that so much attention and money has been put into VR and no one gives a shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be used for like medical almost usage before it'll be used for recreational.
I mean,
And that should be more widespread than now, given the amount of capital. So where's the bottleneck?
Yeah.
There is an actual AR application that I can visualize in like commercial and industrial applications, medicine, construction. Where is all that?
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty cool demos too in the space, but nobody's actually put it to use.
No. Okay. Well, we'll see. But thank you, Ian. Thanks for
Thanks for the voice note.
Yeah, and that's I think the big thing that I want to encourage from all of our listeners, and I know a lot of you are actually our friends, hit us up and give us your rebuttals. You know what I mean? Because I really like to. It's good to hear that other side.
He shared some private stuff that I didn't talk about.
Share it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
No, I'm not going to share it. But I want to. I'm going to ask him if he'll let me edit it to share because I think it's actually.
What industry does it relate to?
No, in regards to magically.
okay.
Or just have him remake a new voice note that's all usable.
Yeah,
I
because
want
like
to know
his
how
thought
much
process.
the CEO is taking off the table.
Now that's the
That's
good
what we
stuff.
wanna
When you
know.
raise $2.6 billion, there's a lot going to
He's not
secondary.
driving a Camry.
One for you, one for me.
Yeah.
So 1.3
$1
billion.
Okay. All right. You guys ready to hop into some news?
Yep.
Let's talk about. Okay. So I want to make sure that I'm reading this story right. There was a guy. Trump was like furiously tweeting out, "We need ventilators." Blah blah blah. This guy responded, said, "I got ventilators." I think the cost was like $47,000 a ventilator.
3 times the normal cost of a ventilator.
Perfect. Good deal. This guy got an order for $69 million and never delivered a ventilator based off of a tweet. I have to be missing something.
So I'm going to just preface this. I'm a guy that like people DM and I'll just do business with you. I'm pretty
Yeah, you'll bring him into the office, take him to Delilah.
Yeah, like I'm pretty open
Yep.
with the way I do business.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. I'm not sending a $69 million wire without meeting a motherfucker.
I mean, that was really off of a tweet?
Yes. He has 75 followers, too. He pretty much scammed the state of New York.
Yeah,
How does that happen?
This is why when rich people don't want to pay taxes, I have no problem. Because they're the biggest bucket, and it's going to people that have no idea how to do anything.
Yeah.
So the state of New York just blindly sends $69 million to a guy in San Francisco and has no ventilators to show for it. They haven't even collected all the money back.
And they can't get a hold of this guy now.
Yeah, of course they can't. I wouldn't be reachable either.
I mean, you just blindly send, and it's 3 times the price what he quoted what was market.
I just cannot. The main thing that I've learned from all this Corona stuff is I'm shocked at how completely unorganized everyone is.
So this guy's name is Yaron Oren Pines, an electrical engineer in Silicon Valley.
Who has now moved to Wuhan.
Yeah.
Come find me here.
He's a specialist in mobile phone technology. At best, this guy is a T-Mobile salesman.
Yeah, this guy fixes iPhone
Okay?
screens.
He's
He's
literally
a doctor.
I think we all have something to
I have a
learn.
crack. Maybe
He's an
Lauren can help.
iPhone
You can do
crack
that
fixer.
or
and he-
ventilators for 47 grand.
And he's fleeced the state of New York.
And we have all had something to learn from this guy.
69 million. This goes back to the last episode. If all in life you care about is money, just lie. You will get it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
if you're-
seems to check out.
I mean, all he did was send a random tweet to the President of the United States. The Corona Task Force in the White House then went to the state of New York and says, do business with this guy. Zero vetting, send $69 million. Boom.
I mean, I understand D doing business in the DMs because there's some good shit in there. You know, it's relevant to what we're working on. Not the White House. You're telling me the White House is the same way you are with like Rustin? Like, yeah, fuck it, come through. Tell me about it.
It just shows you, like, also how irrelevant money is for the government.
Yeah. Which you're right. I mean, the one thing that you made me realize is the reason why billionaires paying such astronomical taxes and all that stuff is because this is where the money's going.
Yes.
So if billionaires pay half of their worth ever owned to the government, it's being spent this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least a portion of it is just blindly, like the dude got $8 million in his bank account, the IRS guy.
Yeah.
Now this is we're at $75 million on 2 guys. How much is going on that we never heard of?
The poor 8 million guy, he opened his mouth and then got it taken away.
Dumbass.
Gosh.
And you wonder how many people this passed through.
I mean, right now, I think 2020 has to be a record year in U.S. history for amount of like fraudulent money made.
Well, that and just overall fuckery.
I'm just saying the amount of money flying around and like banks are trying to get these loans out and people are lying and like people are record numbers going to go out of business and starve and then other people are just going to make millions.
Yeah.
And we were told a story, not going to say what industry or not, but a government contract for a product in the middle of quarantine, PPE, so you could take your guess on what it is. They were like, hey, it's this price. They're like, no, we actually have to pay more because we need to pay market. So the government was like, no, I want to get ripped off. And they had to do the contract.
Why? That's like some rule they had?
I don't know. And the company's like, sure, you can pay the inflated price.
Yeah, what do we care?
I just cannot believe this is how the world works.
Yeah.
This is why no one trusts the government as an allocator of capital. So take $100 billion away from Jeff Bezos. Where's it going?
To fucking this guy, this cell phone repairman making ventilators. God.
Crazy.
Okay. Well, good lesson to know. It's a lot more complicated than just take the money from the rich, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
How about this? The U.S. spy agencies collectively, apparently, have determined that the coronavirus was not man-made. So, number one, sounds like even if it was man-made and they figured out that it was, all you got to do is put out a report that you collectively agree that it wasn't, and then here you go.
Brother G made the call.
There you go. Now you get stories like this. The other thing is I heard that I heard a version of the story where this lab in Wuhan was studying coronavirus in bats and made a mistake, and one of the guys got sick. And one of the guys apparently like reported or blogged or something that he was quarantined for 4 days because he knowingly exposed himself in the lab to bats. So it wasn't man-made, but it was a man fuck up. It wasn't just some dude who was hungry for bat soup. You know, I don't know. I guess anything's possible, but believing that a guy just chomped down on a bad bat and now here we go, it seems a little crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's a version of that somewhere in the middle. It's probably the real answer. We'll probably never know the real truth because what the our government is saying is let us go to Wuhan, let us come to the lab and let us do our research and come back with our report. No fucking way that's going to be allowed.
Is there anything you believe less than a government issued statement regarding coronavirus?
So the only thing I would say is that
no, there's not.
I agree that there's pressure from China on this topic, but there's also the rogueness of Trump where he feels like he got punked by Xi, and now he's coming back and saying we're going after China on all these topics. So I don't know what.
But the counter is, we know there's going to be another 6 to 8 trillion printed. Who's buying it? China.
Yeah, bats.
More bats.
Yeah, I agree, man. I don't know what. I literally at this point don't even try to like figure that part out.
So we know banks are all scamming us.
Yep.
We know the government's just total fuckery and how they're handling the crisis and who's getting money and where's the money going. Why would we trust this?
I don't think we trust anything. I think we just take what we can get at this point.
I think the only thing, and I think the stock market's a perfect example. It's the first time that there's true mistrust in institutions. There's always been a group of people that never trusted governments and the way things were working. Mm-hmm. And I think the last 4 weeks of the stock market made even the person who doesn't pay attention to it closely to be like, this doesn't make any sense.
No. I mean, even if you're just watching Davey Day Trader, he makes it very obvious. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a pretty wild time in that sense where I feel like, we're going to go through all of them, but like, no one knows what to do. The NBA is like, maybe we could play with Mickey Mouse. The NFL is like, we could play on fucking Saturdays.
Yeah,
like
whatever.
Everyone's like, we could do this.
We could do whatever we want.
USC's like, we'll go buy an island.
Yeah, and trolls are like, we're just gonna put it online and see if people watch our shit.
Yeah. We have this kind of general update. What's going on in the stock market? The fact that Wuhan opening back up is kind of like shows what happens, and that it's not just, I think everyone was hoping for, and a lot of people still are, this like snap return to normal. And like one day they're gonna say, all right guys, lockdown's over and we go back to complete normal, and that's just not the reality. What'd you guys take from, key things that are going on around the world?
One of the things that I read that was interesting in the Bay Area, so the counties, I think the 6 counties that kind of constitute the Bay Area, are extending their lockdown to the end of May, but they are easing restrictions on outdoor activities. Mm-hmm. So there are recreational things. There are even, groups of kids allowed at day camps, under 12 kids. So I read, that's a pretty interesting update. I think that's how it's all going to happen, a very slow, drawn out process of a reopen. And I think we just have to come to terms with it, because even this week I saw Gavin Newsom kind of saying, I'm closing down all the beaches again, right? Like I'm going to shut down the golf courses that were open also. And I think people that are trying to test and push it are actually hurting the bigger cause, because the way that it has to be done is going to be this very carefully, slow, drawn out process that will get us to a more normal opening. Because I think it's like a test, right? Like, okay, if we say groups of 10 or less can hang out in public together, let's see what happens. And then in a month, because everyone wants to point to the fact that like our hospitals are empty or this. Yes, but there's a reason why. We sat our asses at home. Soon as we open up, it could be catastrophic. Yeah. And now we're in summer, and now supposedly that the virus doesn't last as long in the heat. So it's like we're in a better position to slowly let things reopen. So I'm all for a slow easing out. It's just, I think that's the biggest thing that people are concerned about that don't really, I don't think they understand that it's going to be a painful reopen.
So I agree that if there is a reopening, it has to be this slow, 30% occupancy in restaurants and the social distancing. The problem is, as contagious as Corona is, and we're not ever going to contact trace, test as rigorously as other countries like Korea, once you go from 30% occupancy to 50 to 75, this thing's just going to flare.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone's going to follow the rules. Like, you see what happens the moment you release a little bit of the, hold. Like, if you say groups of 10 people or more, that's going to be 30.
I think we're at 0 and we're at 10 to 15 currently.
Yes. So 10 to 15 means literally 30 to 50.
Yes.
And 50 means we're back.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What's really crazy to me is and I guess you could see it coming from a mile away, but like the unrest. You know, we just do not have even the dynamic or the relationship with our government that we follow orders.
Yeah.
Like strictly.
Yep.
And I just think people are going to slowly trickle back out. I mean, the streets, every time I drive here,
It's busier.
are more and more full.
Yeah.
Today looked similar to what a regular day would have looked like.
I mean, I was.
So where's everyone going?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that
still
out.
Closed.
Yeah.
I honestly think what's happening is that
House parties.
one,
Real
I,
ones.
I think
Not
people
the
are
virtual
going.
ones.
People are visiting people
Yeah.
more now. I also think there was a group of people that literally did not leave the house. Like I know older people
Yeah.
that have not left their house for anything, and I think they're finally getting comfortable. And I mean, in a normal Tuesday or whatever, Thursday in California, it's slammed all day, every day because it's just too many fucking people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just think now people are just getting a little more comfortable with like the notion of, getting outside in some capacity, going to the store, I'm sure stores are more crowded. Everything's more crowded.
But I have noticed the Trader Joe's near me, no line anymore. I was trying to figure out why. They just like, we don't need to stock up.
Yeah, we're broke. We have no more food left.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, I think people there was just this crazy emergency and now people are just settling. Like this is the new normal.
Yeah.
I have a friend who took it like militant style the first 3 weeks of quarantine, and he was taking it more serious than anyone I knew out here. And he's loosened up a lot.
Yeah, everyone's loosened up.
Yeah,
I
everyone's
went to
loosened
Target the other day, which was my first time going somewhere that wasn't like, grocery stores are like, you gotta go. Target, even though it was weird and everyone had masks on and shit, like there's people just there shopping for clothes and getting some baby stuff, and like it felt, like a regular store open almost.
Yeah, I think the house parties, apartment hangs, house hangs are happening.
Through the roof. These young kids.
Yeah.
Like,
Pete, look
They're
at Pete
happening.
smiling.
Yeah. Everyone's hanging out now.
yeah, low 20s.
Low amounts of like.
But I'm saying if you're in your early
yeah.
20s, you're out.
But I'll even go one step further, and in my own neighborhood, in the front yards, there's groups of 8-10 people hanging out. They're all like distanced from each other, but they're like sitting in their front yard. They have like chairs out. People are just hanging out.
Yep.
Like I don't think I think last Friday we saw at least 4 houses in our neighborhood in the front yard with people just hanging out.
Do you guys think that's a bad thing?
No, I actually don't think it's a bad thing. I think
I think it's the right way to approach it at this point.
because I
going
think
forward.
that is the right process
Right.
that will ease us back into society. I think we need to have certain things open. And look, Georgia's a great example. They're allowing complete fuckery down there, and people aren't showing up to restaurants. The other fuckery that they are allowing is you don't need a driver's license anymore.
Yeah,
There's
that was
nothing you do.
insane.
Wait, what?
So yeah, what is that? You don't need to take your test anymore?
Yeah,
You just
they're
like, what do you say? Like, yep,
You
good at
hit
driving.
16,
I can
boom,
drive.
let's go.
16, check the box, good at it.
Yeah, I mean,
When I look at 16-year-olds today, there's no reason any of us at 16 should be driving.
What?
16-year-olds feel like 5-year-olds.
Yes.
yeah.
Talk about stay inside the lines.
Do
man.
I trust when I see a 16-year-old, you're on a road with a 2-ton metal vehicle that could potentially kill me?
So this is literally the law the governor has instituted. He said no longer need to pass a formal driving test in order to secure a driver's license. Instead, they'll just have to get the A-OK from their parents. A-OK.
He said A-OK?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, like I said before,
what
it's
insurance-
fucking anything goes. It's literally, I don't know.
Insurance is interesting.
Yeah, where does insurance play in that?
Insurance might not be A-OK with it.
No, they
don't-
can
yeah,
be.
Why would you be A-OK with that?
If I'm an insurance company, I'm just blanket not insuring anyone under 21.
The only person I know, Ollie Fakari, you listen to the pod, used to drive, no joke, a manual stick shift car at age 12.
Why? What?
Yes.
Where
in
was
the valley?
he going?
In the valley. When we were 14 years old, he would pick me up and we would go to the movies.
So
Are
the
you
only-
serious?
Where were his parents?
Where are the cops?
How did he end up? He's such a
How
like.
big is this kid?
Small.
At that age.
Oh,
Yeah,
he,
he
was,
lives with
he was a kid and he was
They
driving a
said
manual.
tiny. They said tiny, and they were talking about now. Like, how big is this kid? He's small.
I mean, literally driving a car at 12. Like
you
6th
imagine?
grade, his dad taught him how to
Where
drive.
were your parents going? Yeah, have fun.
I just said, oh, I'm getting a ride.
So
And there's a little kid in a booster seat. Like, get in, dude.
And you guys thought Wisconsin was fucked up. We didn't
So
even have that
obviously
shit.
laws and rules always have incentive. The only reason I think 16 is the driving age because parents are like, I can't drive this little fucker around anymore. Let's let them drive at 16.
Yeah.
It's too much of a nuisance. Make parents' life easier. Is that the reason?
Yeah. I would love to see some statistics on like traffic violations and crashes in like where is it mainly focused?
Especially now with smartphones, they're TikToking, driving, house
kidding. I'm a
partying.
savage, classy, bougie, and like red light. Oh my gosh. Okay. Can you imagine a 12-year-old walking in right now and be like, "Hey, anyone need a ride home?"
Yeah. That was literally him.
How did he end up so
And his stick
normal?
shift. The fact
Stick
that it was,
shift was the
fact
best.
that it was manual was probably the most.
He got thrown to the wolves early. Maybe that's why he turned out.
You're right. You're right. Okay. All right. Next up, unemployment. Record numbers.
Yeah.
Two things are crushing it: the stock market and unemployment numbers.
This was actually the first day when the unemployment claim number came out and the stock market didn't go up.
At least something affects it. Yeah. So we're above 30 million.
30 million
40.
unemployed.
40.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. What? I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. And the biggest thing to me is just the fact that most of these jobs aren't coming back anytime soon.
And then that's really the discussion that's being had right now is what industries realistically are going to come back. So like, if you look at all the service jobs that are lost, I'm sure some economist has done this. I would put those in a separate bucket and be like, okay, half of these or 70% of these are never coming back. And then where can we reemploy those people? Because I actually think an industry like manufacturing, which was pretty much dead, is going to thrive in the next couple of years domestically with different needs. Like, I just think made in USA on items that we can actually produce effectively is going to thrive. There's a huge market opportunity for that. And I think every country is seeing that. Japan's doing it. America's doing it. Europe's going to do it. So I think there'll be an opportunity. So we have to either repurpose those service people to manufacturing jobs or they're fucked. This is where that great income inequality becomes really big if those people don't get proper jobs.
And I still don't get why Democrats aren't screaming from the mountaintop to take care of these people. Because right now what we have is Bernie Sanders for rich people with the stock market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fed has basically forced institutions to put all their money in the stock market because they've made every other asset class uninvestable.
Yeah.
Keep rich people rich. Like,
And I mean, you got the freaking Lakers getting PPP programs.
yeah, I mean, it's just such a like ball drop because this is the time where everyone can get taken care of because the government's proven you can print unlimited amounts of money whenever you want.
Yeah.
Why aren't people demanding this?
Yeah.
I don't really hear a scream for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I heard that AOC was screaming for like people should be protesting to stay on lockdown and like to make the government take care of them. But
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man. Just poorly handled across the board.
Yeah, and so
I mean, every finance person I've talked to literally scoffs at, like, they know it's a joke. The Fed just keeps printing money to keep the stock market afloat. And they're just like, there's all these memes. The printing money machine go burr. It's like floating around every nerd circle because they know they're going to keep staying rich.
Yeah. And I think, you're seeing the GDP for the first quarter go down 4.8%, which for people that understand this, that is a staggering number.
And you know what the next quarter prediction
It's just
is?
double digits.
30%.
So 30% from last year. Yeah. And like, that is, I mean, like, we've never seen that before. 30% of the economy shrinking is fucking crazy.
Don't you think it should be higher?
No, because
on a global,
I'll tell you, because there's
still commerce going on.
And
right?
there is increased spending in other facets of the economy. Like oil is a huge part of the GDP. So that being removed, obviously probably craters it the most. If you extract oil, I bet you it's not as bad as we think it is. I mean, I spoke to probably 6-7 large e-commerce companies this week. Everyone's on fire since the stimulus check came out. Everyone saw a lift in sales because what that stimulus money is going to e-com.
Yeah. You could look at Shopify.
Yeah.
Their stock is on fire.
I'm sure all those Shopify sites, I'm sure any shoe drop, anything that happened for consumers in the last week was gobbled up because of stimulus.
But that's just so crazy. I wish, once again, you could see where that money went. Like, I wish you could just literally see a pie chart that said X was spent on clothing, X was spent on groceries, X was spent on...
I'm going to say clothing was the highest.
It seems like it.
And I think electronics would be second. And then I think like health and wellness related products. I mean, I just feel like clothing gives people immediate satisfaction. And clothing, I mean shoes,
But
fashion,
to wear around
accessories.
your damn house?
I know, but like there's something about getting like...
I mean, it's what's to be worn after.
But is that not the ultimate case for why Yang Gang will never work?
Yang Gang is great for fashion.
It's great for us.
Yeah.
It's great for our friends.
Yeah.
It's great. But the point is, like, in real, like, I don't know. I mean, there is the theory that you can't just hand people money because a lot of people just blow it.
Yeah.
And I want to be careful here because a lot of people were born or things happen in unfortunate circumstances. A lot of people are just very poor handlers of money.
Yeah.
And you get $1,200 from the government and you have no job in the middle of a crisis that has no sign of when it's going to end, and you buy, some hot new Jordans and a freaking sweatsuit.
Yeah.
Because the same person who's getting the $1,200 check is now also making, if they've been fired, $5,000 in tax-free income this month, right?
That's California.
In California.
Yeah, life's good. Life's good for an unemployed Californian. Okay, well,
see, I think that's the point. Like the 20-something-year-old can skate by with the stimulus check, the unemployment. It's the families that make that much money. Mm-hmm. They're screwed.
Yeah.
Because you can't. I mean, we have kids, and you just you financially cannot afford to raise a family.
Yeah.
If you've been fired, and that's all you're getting.
Totally.
And unfortunately, we won't see the impact of that for another month or two, and then we'll see the real health of the consumer. So real quickly, because this just happened, Apple and Amazon released earnings. Everyone was expecting blowout numbers from Amazon. The sales were big on AWS. Their revenue grew there. Top line sales was big. But what they did say is, sit back, our costs are going through the roof. And one of the reasons why is the increased demand on shopping on Amazon causes an enormous increase in shipping costs. If Amazon almost doesn't they're printing money in AWS. They love that business exploded. Yeah. But when all of a sudden you're doing 1 billion orders a day on your site and you're promising everyone 2-day delivery, it's just that cost has gone through the roof. So as unpredictable as all things, they, for the most part, tell you a pretty good story, except the fact that there's a lot of expenses that are being incurred because of Corona. Stock went down.
And this is why the stock market's so goddamn stupid.
Yeah.
So this is how I interpret Amazon's earnings. Revenue through the roof, AWS through the roof. What they've done is use their operating profit to scale with all the new restrictions on employees and deliveries. And I'm sure every warehouse now you have to have masks and temperature checks and all that stuff. All that shows me is they've just acquired so many new customers. Sure, those increased costs are temporary because we are going to get out of Corona. Yeah. So long term, this is a no-brainer. Stock goes down. So stupid.
Yeah.
But hotels, Live Nation, all these companies who have no sign of hope, their stocks go up. MGM reported earnings.
Yeah.
Only through March. Mm-hmm. Stock's flat.
That's pretty good.
They've been closed since April 1. What is it? March 20? Something like that. They're burning $270 million a month while closed.
And that could last for another year.
And even if they open, what does 270 go to? 200? 150?
Yeah, it's not.
They're going to burn more money than Uber.
And then Apple also released earnings. Revenue growth has slowed down. iPhone sales dipped 7%. 7%. That's it. That is nothing. Nothing. The shortfall in the revenue was increased by a huge jump in iCloud, Apple Music, and other subscriptions. And their stock is down too. And by the way, their cash has dipped, unfortunately. It went from 207 billion to 192. So they had to tap 15 bill from their little
That's
balance
unfortunate.
sheet.
Yeah.
All in Dublin.
So I mean, so you take MGM, who's losing 270 million a month. Apple iPhone, despite not having any stores open, the sales only dropped 7%.
That's that stimulus, man. That stimulus. I'm telling you, it went to a lot of iPhones.
Yeah.
I mean, we joked about it this morning because we have a friend who was playing options on Amazon going long, and I was like, it makes too much sense. I think it's going down, and I was right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have no logic. I was just like, no, it just makes too much sense that Amazon's doing well.
Yes, the opposite of what makes sense.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I think Amazon and Apple push the markets the most. Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple, like they have such a weight on both indexes. So you'll see a drop tomorrow, unless by the morning Amazon's at 3,000.
No, if MGM and Hilton say we're closed through 2022, market will go up.
I mean, last I saw from Davey Day Trading, he was really counting on Amazon.
to go up.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have some good
He
videos
just
today.
had a reaction video to it.
Did he? Yeah, I think his big bet, like his big like life support was Amazon.
He's so good.
Okay.
Fucking told you, motherfuckers!
Is he happy?
Amazon earning lead expectation by 18%. Wake up!
He probably
Get a
doesn't-
big dick brain. Now, how high do we go?
Oh, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know it's
fucking
gone down.
see. Let's fucking see. I retract. Is that not it? Did I get fucked? I think I got fucked. I retract. I just read a schmoes. Was that just a total lie? That was totally fake. Damn. I just jinxed the fuck out of myself. Oh, it is crashing. It's crashed. It's down 100 points.
That's everyone's reaction.
Yes.
Damn it, he's
Goes
so
on for
good.
like 3 minutes.
Holy
Oh my God,
shit.
that's amazing.
Okay.
It's through the roof.
Well, you mentioned it, Dee, briefly, but I mean, I have to believe that coronavirus, the same way it accelerated like the death of retail, the rise of e-commerce, it kind of accelerated all the work from home, all these things. I have to believe it's going to accelerate income inequality.
The only thing that could change is that there is like, if we end up extending benefits for everyone
Yeah.
for months on end, where people don't fall behind.
Yeah.
So if money is irrelevant and the people now know that money is irrelevant, okay, cool. Extend the California unemployment benefits of $600 a week till the end of the year. Then people won't fall behind. The problem in the last recession was we did nothing for the average person. We fucked them.
We just did TARP.
Yeah, we did TARP. We saved a bunch of banks. And so make sure what we did actually save is a bunch of Hamptons houses. We made
Yeah.
sure that
Come
the
on.
richest people on earth got to keep their Hamptons
Take your
homes.
bonus.
Yeah, keep your bonus, keep your money. But we did
And we got more efficient ways to get them to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Blade doesn't pay for itself.
Come
Yeah,
on.
water taxis.
Come on, guys.
So I think what really this time around the biggest difference I see why I agree there will be income inequality in general. It's going to continue. The gap will continue. But the fact that the government is giving people money is a big difference. It's like even that $1,200 probably for a lot of Americans covered rent.
So I think it's similar what I was saying earlier. I think if you're a single person under the age of 35 with no responsibilities, obligations, all these programs are great and are going to keep you afloat. But I just don't see it working for families.
Yeah, my worry would be that like if you say, like, I just feel like once again these middle class family having good job are going to get wiped. That's the middle that's going to get cut out.
Yeah, but I just think this time around, I know it's not their exact salary. I don't know how much what type of person we're talking about here.
I'm talking about a household of four that combined income makes 75 to 100K.
Yeah, and mom and dad lost their job.
Mom and dad were both making $40,000 to $50,000, lost their jobs.
Okay, so let's say you live in California and that's the case. If California extends $600 a week till the end of the year, and we keep doling out $1,200 a month, they're not going to fall behind.
I agree. So I think the way to think about it is states like California, which we don't know what other states are doing because we don't live there, but extend it until unemployment hits X%.
Yeah.
Right? Don't give it a timetable. Give it till unemployment goes from 25, 30% to 8%. Until we resume to what unemployment was pre-corona, you guys are going to be taken care of.
Yeah, if you do that, I don't think you're going to have that same problem because that $2,400, like if you take a two-person income, you get $2,400 extra per person. That's $4,800. You may just have to cut your cost of living. Cool. You don't get to go on the big Hawaii trip.
There's no Hawaii to even get to.
Exactly.
Right
So you change your lifestyle, but you're able to. The difference is last time around, you lost your job. Then the banks fucking piled on their late fees and mortgages, and they foreclosed. They fucked the American consumer left and right.
Yep.
Now,
Wells Fargo, we're talking to you.
yeah, you were ass fucking, mouth fucking, ear fucking, ass. You were doing everything to everybody.
Yeah. I just worry that like that could come. I also worry about the psychological like impact on like if you're just grinding it out, trying to get by, support your family, like, and you would have made progress and maybe got a raise in this last 6 months, and instead you're working on a deduction and everyone's starving and pissed and your kids have no school or babysitter, like that type of thing for 6 months or a year can derail someone's entire life and career.
I agree. I just feel like this time around, yes, there are going to be inequality issues. The fact that they are committed to giving money, it helps.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be the same level. And look, you don't have to pay rent. You don't have to mortgage delays. Everyone's playing ball this time around. That's why I don't think it's going to be as bad from the inequality standpoint. I don't know when it's going to recover. I don't know how you finance all this crap, but they're just not letting it happen.
My prediction is, at least post-vaccine, on a separate note, domestic tourism is going to be through the roof.
Yes, I agree.
Like places like Hawaii, Santa Barbara, like
I would even say Hawaii will take time because of hopping on a plane. I think places you can drive to.
like Rosewood. What's Rosewood going to be post-vaccine? 10,000 a night?
Which Rosewood?
The new Caruso one.
Yeah. That one's gonna be expensive. But I definitely, I think you're gonna see a boon in like national parks and camping and like just people wanting to stay local. Like even for us, without a vaccine, as a family, especially with a newborn coming, are we gonna hop on a plane? No fucking way.
I'd kill for a weekend in Santa Barbara, Ojai right now.
Ugh.
That sounds like
Heaven.
magical.
Yeah, and like people.
I never even thought about going to either of those places anytime soon.
I even have a lot of friends that are renting houses in Palm Springs.
Yeah, Palm Springs. I think areas like that are going to see. You know, there's a short-term pain right now that's happening, but I do think domestic vacationing will be a big opportunity.
The moment it's clear, we're definitely
Yeah, but probably won't hop on a plane.
won't happen a plane.
No, yeah, the Palm Springs thing seems really
Palm
nice.
Springs, in California, Palm Springs, Santa
Palm
Barbara,
Springs, Santa Barbara.
Ojai, those kinds of places are great. Napa will have a huge surge.
And
I
everyone
think
has their
Napa's
own
popping
version.
right now. I have some friends that are. There's a lot of house
but they're
dinners.
not,
Some
I know, but there's not
caves.
wine tasting open.
I
met
think
a
they're
few.
having I think they're bringing them to the house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm sure the homie who got all that ventilator money is having a nice little party.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's tasting his ass off. What about did you guys see all this stuff about meat?
I'm not a big meat guy.
I know, this is probably good news for you. This is
Yeah.
like Peloton going under if it were to happen. Just supply chain issues and all sorts of chaos going on in the meat world.
Yeah. So over the last few weeks, multiple plants that process bacon and beef have had corona outbreaks in the plants, and they've been forced to close. So there's no one there to even slaughter the pigs.
Oh, good news for the pigs.
The pigs are getting euthanized instead
Bad news for the pigs.
Poor bastards.
Damn, you're just
because
what are you doing? Burying them? What do you do?
I don't know. What do they do with a bunch of dead pigs that can't be processed into meat? So there's this huge supply chain issue because plants are closing for health reasons of the workers. There's no one there to actually process the meat because the plant's closed. The price of these commodities in the markets are skyrocketing for cattle. And Trump said we're keeping the plants open because Trump needs his burger.
Trump needs his damn burger. Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
because it's so funny because I overheard in like different kind of conversations in social media, the meat thing got like MAGA rallied up.
don't take burgers and bacon away
I
from.
mean, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to eat?
How
Yeah,
dare
exactly.
you? Yeah,
And
right.
So, and I think Iowa, there's a Tyson Foods plant that had a corona outbreak, and they're like, "Yo, we don't want to reopen.
Yep.
We want to make sure all our employees are safe before they go back." In fact, even in Georgia, McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and I forgot someone else have not opened yet either. So like the companies are taking a very cautious approach because they don't want to deal with this shit.
Yeah.
So this concept of this meat shortage it sounds to me like fake news for the most part.
Really?
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't think.
Wait, why don't you believe it?
I understand that there's a problem in the supply chain, but like, I mean, I'm not going to the grocery stores looking for meat, but I've not heard anyone not being able to.
I think people are foreshadowing.
Okay.
So obviously, if plants are closing in the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I don't know what the time is from that to trickle down to markets.
I agree. So I think the notion, we don't even know if it's not available, are people going to be upset? If you tell everyone there's a shortage, it riles everyone up. And everyone's like, you're not going to take that meat out of my cold, dead hands.
That's
Okay,
true.
hold on. Burgers and bacon or guns? What's MAGA giving up first?
Oh, that's really tough.
We
I
don't
think.
give up those things.
I think you try to make people choose between that. You got a civil war on your hands, buddy. I don't think so.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one. I was going to say, I think they'd give up burgers and bacon because I think gun is more important.
Because they'll say, I'll kill my own pig.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll kill you and eat you.
Talk to them a week after giving up burgers and bacon, though. They might change their
Yeah.
mind. I don't think
I
any
ain't
of
that
them.
vegan pussy shit.
Yeah, that beyond bitch shit.
Yeah. Beyond pussy.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Next up, journalism professors are calling on networks to stop airing Trump's press briefings because they say that they are essentially a part of, helping spread all of the crazy misinformation and stuff that's going on. To me, seems cute. Seems like a nice article. No way in hell. Who's just gonna turn over great ratings?
I agree. I mean, I look forward to his press conference daily.
Yep.
Purely for entertainment reasons. I'm not trying to learn one thing. I want to see which reporter is he going to berate?
Yep.
Who's he going to embarrass?
Uh-huh.
What's Dr. Burke's going to say?
Uh-huh.
Like
What
laughing.
scarf
and
is she
just-
wearing?
Yeah.
And what weird thing is he going to tell you to inject into your body?
It's a whole spectacle.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. You got to.
Like CNN tried a few days of not airing, and then they just got suckered right back
I mean,
into
come
it.
on. You have the greatest.
I mean, every day he comes on, I hear Anand behind me goes, he's on! He's on!
It's showtime. No,
Like, it's
it's
showtime. And he gets on the phone with like 4 people and he's like, you watching? You watching right now? You just got on. They're like, who? He's like, Trump. Trump's on right now.
That's so good. Yep.
It's my Tiger King.
It totally is. I mean, that's the
You
problem.
guys calling Tiger King stupid?
I think we all agree that it's probably bad for people's brains, probably bad for misinformation, probably all that. But one thing about us is no one is going to hand over all of these ratings in order to do the right thing.
Yeah, you can't take away people's meat, their guns, and the press conference.
I mean, you have got to be shitting me.
I'll give
No
up
chance.
Beyond or Impossible to keep the press conferences going. Not both.
Yep.
Okay.
One of the two.
If you could choose for the next week, Instagram or press briefings,
Press briefings.
how about Twitter?
Nah, I can't get
I
up to
knew it. I knew it. Knew that's where you drew the line.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up any of those for press. I need my gram.
Yeah. Okay. Is Joe Biden thinking about picking Elizabeth Warren for VP? What's going on? Is that just like a rumor?
So he foolishly said, for no reason, right when he got the nomination pretty much secured, that he's going to pick a female vice president.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
It makes no sense.
It's just like, shut up. Like, this is the thing that I hate about that. To me, you're simply like pandering to that crowd.
Yep.
Like, how about you say, I'm going to pick the best person possible for vice president? But to say like, trust me, get on my boat because it'll be a chick.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, yeah, he loves chicks.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
And now people are saying you pick Warren, the pollsters are like, it's not going to resonate.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, be dead silent, get elected, and then surprise us all. Be like, here's who I picked. Here's me. I do indeed have dementia. Barack's going to be running the show. Welcome. No more Trump.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. You can't make like because you have to find the right running mate that actually gets you elected, not just because it's a woman. I mean I have no problem with having a woman as a vice president.
Yeah, just pick a woman and pick a woman. Don't just say that's the only criteria I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's stupid. And I think, man, I'm so excited. If I put aside all of my fear, I'm so excited to see how November goes.
Yeah.
And leading up to it, I'll say October as well. I mean, how are they going to play it? Do they just keep this guy in a bunker somewhere?
Do you know what I'm bummed about? I remember we talked about this 6 months ago, that we would go to both conventions and record content.
You're right.
Now we can't do that.
You're right. Okay. This seems like, I don't know, maybe worst business move of the year so far. I'm not sure. Apparently, AMC theaters will no longer play Universal films effective immediately because, Universal released Trolls World Tour straight to digital. And then their CEO, Jeff Shell, said, what did he say? What did he say that was so unacceptable?
He said, because Universal basically said when theaters reopen,
Yeah.
we're going to experiment launching both formats, digital and in theater. The CEO of...
I can't believe that was it. That's why I was so confused, because they said that was unacceptable and we will no longer play your movies.
Yes.
You're out of here, man. File the bankruptcy papers.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're filing anyways.
Wrap it up. Like what? I'm sorry for that fumble, but I was reading the comment over and over as I was saying it, and I was like, there's no way this is what was so unacceptable.
I don't know what game is AMC playing.
And I'll tell you where they're already losing. Universal has Fast and the Furious.
Yep. See you later.
I mean,
that's
the movie that I'll pay $20 to see.
And you have no leverage. Why are you acting like you have leverage?
Yeah.
I mean, Fast and Furious has not slowed down.
No.
What are we, a decade in? It's Fast 9, right?
It's going nowhere.
I mean, more than a decade.
It's part of American culture.
I mean,
at this
it's
point.
probably the first one. Probably came out like 15, 20 years ago.
I mean, pretty soon you can put it up next to guns and burgers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just part of America.
It is.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm dumbfounded by, even if you want to get all, shitty and be like, well, we're going to have some tough negotiations with Universal, to publicly come out right away and say this is unacceptable, effective immediately, no more Universal pictures. Like, who do you think you are, dude? You're fucked. You need everything you can get.
And guess what? When AMC reopens, they're going to be begging Universal, hey, can you please let us get Fast 9?
Yeah. What are you going to do if you don't have Fast 9?
And the theater across the street does.
Yes.
Like in these small towns, like they still have theaters. Like you're telling me AMC's not going to have it and the one around the corner is?
Yeah.
Is AMC the one in Hollywood? Is that ArcLight AMC?
I think that's Pacific.
I forget.
Pacific.
Maybe.
Where's the closest AMC?
Is it Universal City Walk? Is that AMC? Or that's ArcLight too?
I don't know.
I forget. Well,
Maybe
see, there you go.
AMC's already out of here.
There you go. What are you doing, man?
There's IMAX at AMC in Century City.
Okay,
one on
Century City.
Sunset.
Oh, Century City.
And then one on
that's what
Sunset.
we talked about. Like they should instantly, all the studios should instantly be going back and renegotiating these contracts with AMC. Like you guys have all of the leverage, and AMC's trying to act like they have it.
No.
Come on. All right, Pete. I think it's your turn. We got an ad.
Yes.
What do we got?
Holistic wellness.
What do they do?
Well, let me tell you about what they do. They make you feel amazing.
Okay.
And they're incredibly healthy for you.
Ooh.
So you guys know we talked about them. We had an interview with their co-founder. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me just prove that. We're going to go back on that.
Why don't you find his name?
Let's just do it after, because I wasn't.
Okay,
I was planning to do it after anyway.
Okay.
Because we're already an hour in.
Get his name, get everything
Yeah, yeah,
right.
Okay, we'll pretend like it's over.
Yeah.
Okay, moving into sports land, we kind of talked about it. It's an absolute shit show is what you call it. It's anything goes. And I think in all of these offices, everyone must be scrambling, trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do. So the first thing up, I think that's getting the big news today is that the NBA is apparently in talks with Disney World about resuming their season at their Florida resort.
Sounds good to me.
So, interestingly enough, apparently Bob Iger has been advising the NBA on how to reopen because Disney has like a bunch of construction going on in China and they're showing this is how you do it with this many people. We know the path. Bob Iger is savvy. He's like, come on over to Disney World.
Yeah, let's save it one last hurrah.
You know what Bob did was let go of all of the downside of the stain on his career.
Yeah.
but is still very actively making moves. So he's still the hero.
Yeah, he's going to take a
move.
victory lap. If we're watching The King in 30 days or 60 days, Bob Iger's going to take credit for all of it.
Yeah, why not?
And think about all the people that are going to owe Bob Iger a thank you.
Yeah.
And there's conflicting reports. Yesterday, some publications were saying the NBA has the agents and players have a lot of concerns about reopening safety issues, and then the King deaded all that today.
Yeah, I don't believe that
He
at all.
tweeted saying, "I talked to everyone. No one's concerned. We want to play."
Yeah. I don't think anybody, that's bullshit. Any player said that. Bullshit.
Yeah, because they want
probably
their
a
checks.
couple little whack ones, you know. Like I don't know sports enough to tell you who, but like
So
one of those lame.
The
little-
only thing that I've read is that any team that wants them has a chance to make the playoffs wants to reopen because you're going to get all that revenue and the playoff revenue. The teams that aren't going to make the playoffs, apparently you have to get to 70 games for them to not write checks to all the regional sports networks, and we're at like 63 to 65
So
in
they're
the
better
NBA.
off.
So reopening, if you're a shitty team with no future revenue, you lose so much more money.
Yeah.
Who's the snitch? He probably did it. Who's the snitch again? The guy who stole Nick Young's phone or whatever.
D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah. I blame him. I bet he was like, you know what, I've talked to a few of my friends and nobody's happy
Nobody's
about
coming
this.
to Corona.
I've actually seen some people's cell phones. They're texting about it. Okay, next up, the NFL is looking at the potential of adding Saturday games.
Yeah. I mean,
if they continue to be, if they get delayed.
yeah, so college football, there's a real, NFL is committed to opening no matter what. You're not taking the NFL out of my cold
Once
dead
again,
hands.
guns, burgers,
Bacon.
NFL, fast and
NFL.
furious.
NFL. That's a big ticket.
Yeah, let me tell you what's staying.
So, I mean, they should just make, when you're becoming a U.S. citizen, you have to be able to eat, for a foreigner to become, eat a burger, bacon, shoot a gun,
Shoot
and
an
name
AK.
all the NFL teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're welcome to America.
Welcome in. And if you can prove any CTE, you get a fast pass.
So, I mean, look, NFL is going to be,
They're playing.
they're
They're
100% playing. They are going to take the most advantage of this situation. College football, they're going to add 25 more games. They're going to play every single Saturday. We're going to be watching NFL Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night football. Are you ready for some Wednesday night football?
Hey, college football.
I cannot wait.
College
true.
football will pack LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee.
Yep.
They're playing.
LSU and
USC
Alabama
and
will
UCLA,
just,
a bunch of snowflakes out here. We're not playing.
LSU and Alabama will just play for 16 weeks in a row. They'll have 50 million
Head to
viewer
head.
rating.
Yeah.
It'll be the biggest thing in sports.
It'll be like 6 SEC teams that play every
yeah.
week.
Georgia, Alabama,
Tennessee.
Tennessee, LSU.
Oh, that's good.
You can't, like, just same way you can't take burgers and bacon out of MAGA, you cannot take football out of the South.
Now.
No way. What when's the season supposed to start?
September.
End of August. College is end of August. NFL's
we're fine.
right after Labor Day.
And the only good thing about the NC2A is they're finally letting college athletes, they're proposing it. They haven't figured out the structure of it, that college athletes can make money off endorsements.
I mean, that would be huge.
Huge opportunity for kids. Mega opportunity for brands.
Yeah.
Mega.
I mean, these high school kids that are coming, especially in basketball, I end up on like some random highlight page. I click on the kids thing. He looks like he's 12 years old, has like 6 million followers. I have no idea who these kids are.
So, and anytime I click on one of these kids, obviously, like the Kevin Durant's and Chris Paul's, they're all like following these kids because they have camps where they coach everyone and they probably meet them. But Drake follows every one of them.
Drake's following every 13-year-old boy in the
Yes.
country.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a little sketch.
I wonder, is he just that big of a sports fan?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just sitting there watching overtime on his house.
And maybe he just is like,
I gotta get the next
know
kid.
the next LeBron.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he was one
That's
of the
what-
first ones to be rocking a Sierra Canyon
Totally.
LeBron James Jr. jersey.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that pre-social media, the NC2A thing was already really offensive. But like when a kid has 6 million followers, that's a shit ton of money he could be making.
Yeah.
Even just like the unorthodox like social media way.
Yeah.
And to deny them that is just pure.
And especially
criminal.
like even outside the stars, because obviously the stars, you know, you could bank on brands paying them. In some of these towns, like the tight end can be in a car dealership.
Yeah.
And it's going to fly.
Yeah. It's all going to work. It's going to be, I mean, Nike's going to benefit the most. They're going to go snap up every single one of these kids at age 12 now.
They already have them. They're just doing it illegally.
But now it'll be like, hey, this is the new Air Max. Go buy them.
Right.
It'll just be blatant.
Yep. Okay. Well, good for them, man. If they get this through, that's
the
a big
only
win.
shitty part is, why is it 2021-22 season? Why not start now? NCAA always tries to
What's
find a
the
way.
rush?
Yeah.
Why not start right away?
It seemed like they were scrambling from all those kids going to the G League.
Yes, you're right.
These kids were about to get close to $1 million, whatever it was.
Yeah, they're making. So that what Pete's referring to is the NBA has a G League, which they're offering to kids to bypass college, because right now in the NBA you have to go to 1 year removed from your high school graduating class to get to the NBA. And now they have a whole program for these young kids. They're paying them $500,000 for these elite guys, proper training, proper medical, proper nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
And then soar right into the NBA.
That's why these guys are probably like, yo, we got to make some sort of announcement.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll probably try to back out of it by the time 2021 comes.
So a lot of the top recruits that were supposed to go to college have chosen this G League route.
When some of them were decommitting.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe that nobody's done that already. Like, how can you not find a way to just disrupt what college sports are?
I mean, it's just a very powerful entity. They have a lot of money. So if they would shoot down and say it's illegal, you can't go to the NBA because you took money or something.
LeVar Ball tried to.
Yeah.
He's not exactly the guy for the job, you know?
No, but he just, in an attempt.
Didn't Ice Cube, that was Big Three or whatever?
Three,
Yeah, but that was
different.
completely different.
Okay, Facebook CFO, David Werner, went on Closing Bell, talked about they've had a steep decline in ad revenue in March. So seems like a no shit, but what do we think?
All negative news coming out of Facebook. Nothing positive. Stock's up 10%.
Near all-time highs.
Almost at all-time high. And this is a business like Google on the search side.
Wait, is this real? Like, is Sheryl Sandberg not even on the earnings calls anymore?
Well, I didn't listen
Was
to
she
the
not?
call.
I don't see any quotes from her. I'm not saying she wasn't, but that would be insane.
Oh my gosh.
She leaned back.
I'm telling you, man,
Sorry, finish your
the
thought.
biggest lean back of the decade.
Yeah, I just think the fact that a Facebook is anywhere near a record high, they've effectively are probably like 2 years ago revenue, and instead of we're trading at this year's stock price high, makes no sense. Like, they're going to see significant pain in the ad market for the foreseeable future, because like, think about the largest advertisers in the world have all cut their spend, some of them to zero. Expedia spends $5 billion a year in advertising. Expedia, okay? They said the max they would spend is $1 billion this year because of the first quarter.
It's a big haircut, 80%.
Yeah.
If I can do my math right.
Yeah. So it's like,
That's big.
you're talking about, that's one. Think about how many travel, tourism, entertainment, everything.
Think about every VC-backed startup. They can't spend.
No, anyone
Uber,
losing
what
money.
Uber probably spends, it's got to be a top customer of theirs. They're not spending.
No.
Okay.
Airbnb,
Yeah.
Sounds to me like a reason for stock pop.
Yeah. Great reason.
Pop it off. You know what I mean? I just, you know what? I'm Team Winklevoss now. So fuck those guys. Okay. And then last but not least on the news, we have the trouble that Airbnb hosts are seeing. So I think there's kind of this honey hole of being an Airbnb host where you're making way higher money on your property than you would have just renting it normally. But it seems like that sort of glory days are over.
Yeah, I mean, travel is obviously going to be affected. What the problem with the Airbnb model is, why it's more concerning, I think, or why it's getting more press. So big hotels are suffering the same problem. They're empty. They're obviously probably have debt facilities they can access. They have the public markets they can access. Airbnb is filled with a bunch of entrepreneurs buying properties. You know, a guy that owns, or a family, a woman that owns one place, two place, and that are making their living. And now that's come to a screeching halt. And those people have no like relief. Like,
none. So Airbnb, part of their last financing, which is $1 billion, they were talking about some of that going to their super hosts to keep them alive, because Airbnb is only as good as the platform. So if all your super hosts that went and bought 10 houses in like Ibiza, which were your 10 biggest properties, and they can't fit, get their mortgages paid, Airbnb is going to be forced to take care of these people. Yeah. Because if you remove your top properties, you're not that valuable.
This is where Airbnb has to change their model. They may have to go buy real estate. Like, if you know you need coverage,
You got to do a meme
Of the
Uber doesn't
have cars.
Uber better go buy some cars.
Yeah,
Airbnb better
yeah.
go buy some houses. WeWork better buy some buildings.
True. It's wild. I wonder how many people, we talked about this, I think, briefly, but how many Palm Springs people's entire years got disrupted by getting rid of Coachella weekend 1, weekend 2, and Stagecoach.
Oh, my
It's a
God.
similar thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like you could pay your whole mortgage for the year if you rent your house for those 3 weekends.
Yeah.
I remember a house that we went for Haley's birthday. It was during Coachella weekend. It was a good house, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It's $100,000, right? For the weekend.
$100,000, yeah.
That's, jeez. Okay. Well,
And what do we pay? Like 95% less than that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be people that like just live off of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good times don't last forever, guys.
Yep.
You ready for some winners, losers content?
Yeah.
D, who would you say in the last 7 days is the biggest, bigger than any, I'm talking huge,
Wow.
winner?
I'm going with Sleepy Joe. He just continues to impress me.
Wow.
Sleeping
not
is
talking.
By doing nothing.
doesn't
The
do
less he
nothing.
does, the more he impresses you.
It's unbelievable how impressive this man is.
Yep.
This guy is going to sleep 4 years. He's going to be so well rested, get reelected again. He's 8 years. He's like the stock market.
He's going to be the only guy to
anomaly.
look younger when he comes out of his
He'd be
term.
so well rested.
Yeah.
That's my president.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something Pete can get behind.
Yeah.
Sleeping is actually probably the most relatable quality he has.
Do you know how crazy and
I love a
nice?
guy that can just get a good sleep in, you know?
You know how crazy it would be and nice if we went from this president to a president who you just literally never heard from.
Never. Joe Biden has decided not to do a press conference.
On the war going on in China.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that.
No comment.
Yeah, he'll kill cable news.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Anand.
My biggest winner is CNBC.
Okay.
It's a network that I stopped watching a long time ago because I just thought it was sensational, kind of tabloidy finance news.
Yeah.
They brought Davey Day Trader on.
They did.
Yes.
They brought him on before,
Fucking
haven't they?
Davey Day Trader, man.
No, but this is really
so
good.
they bring
Yeah.
Davey Day Trader on, and they have like 6 of their like analyst experts that are their typical like people you see on TV. Like he wants some advice, and so instead of patronizing him, they played into him, and they started saying buy this stock, and then gave a sports analogy, and they all kind of made a fun way of like talking to Davey Day Trader, and he was like, "Oh, I've been putting $3 million out in the market," but he's like, "I'm all in on margin, so it's really like $12 million." So he's literally risking $12 million to trade, which is insane. And to follow it up, all their like CNBC personalities are like pushing this whole thing on Twitter about Davey J Trader, retweeting him. They're like playing into it. It's the first time like I feel like they've been relevant in a long time.
Yeah, I think it's a great move.
and he's never not entertaining.
He's never not.
He never has like a bad, like, oh, there he was. Like, that was interesting. He's always entertaining.
And I think if you're like an old sleepy news channel, engaging with something like Barstool can change your entire viewership, because it's the same reason why people listen to this over listening to something on the news. It's just the delivering of the news has to evolve as well.
Yeah.
And I think what he's bringing to finance is exciting. If I was like an econ professor at a college, I would use his content to get people excited about finance. I would do an entire class if I was an economics professor reacting. So why is he so pissed off today about Amazon stock plummeting? Explain that. Everyone would understand it, because that's how people can, because he's a character that college students probably can relate to.
Yeah. I have to believe that this proves that Davey Day Trader is 100% the heart and soul and the reason Barstool is successful. And he just proved that had he been interested in finance and not sports, he would have had the Barstool of finance.
Absolutely.
Which
No
would
matter
be
what
even
he was
way
interested.
more valuable.
Yeah. And to me, this is the first time that you've ever seen like this new age of person who communicates on the internet. Let's just compare him to, we'll say, Logan Paul. But where Logan Paul is like selling merch and having to fight people because it's just all things Logan Paul, Davey Day Trader used this to build a media platform empire that's worth, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yep.
And I don't think we've ever seen anything like this, even close. Because everyone with his sort of temperament usually just sort of has their own, like he's just an influencer. And he might make a couple $1,000,000 a year and he's an influencer.
Yeah.
But he built a media fucking behemoth off of
Yeah,
this
it's
thing.
crazy.
Big fan. Okay, well, I hope he opens the Barstool Finance whole pillar.
Sector.
Yeah. My winner's Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Wow.
Very similar to Davey Day Trader in personality.
Jeez, that's what.
I mean, what? He's the Davey Day Trader of rap.
Yeah.
He's out. He got out early because of Corona stuff. He has been putting very small, subtle things online. He announced he's doing something, I think, on May 9th, maybe. That's his birthday, one of those days around there. Probably a song or something. And then he just got approved from the courts to, in his house, film music videos and record music. So I just think he's going to come back, be bigger than ever. What's funny is they've been interviewing, in almost every interview with every big rapper, they've asked them, would you work with Tekashi 6ix9ine when he comes back? Everyone said no, 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 no. He's going to come back, be the biggest thing in the world, and then everyone's going to be real confused.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, I don't see how he's going to struggle. I think kids are going to be excited to hear from him.
16-year-olds don't care about snitching, you know what I mean?
But all I'm saying is if he gets back on top, he's going to get yanked.
He's not. He's not. If he didn't get killed before, he's not getting killed.
Oh, once they see him back on top, it can be real.
I think quarantine just ended tough guys.
No, not the gang members.
I think everyone's just became a little softer.
I mean, if it ended ISIS, it had to end the Bloods. You know what I mean?
Paused ISIS.
Huh?
I think it paused ISIS.
Sure, pause. But I'm just saying, like I said about hardworking family of 4, 3 months of pause can just ravel your whole thing. ISIS might be like, you know what? It's not so bad not
You know
strapping
what,
on
guys?
these bomb
Maybe we
vests.
should be doing all this
I had a
destruction
nice
and
break.
shit.
I don't know about you guys. I didn't mind it. The whole jihad thing
Kind
was
of
a
like
little
living
stressful.
over here. This is nice.
Okay, who's the loser of the week?
I have 2 losers. My first one is J. Crew. Another one I'm happy to see fail.
They went bankrupt?
They're filing for bankruptcy this weekend. It's a business, in my opinion, shouldn't be saved. I think the brand is great, but as a retailer in the current form, it should be a business that Authentic Brands Group owns. They license it out to a bunch of people, and it lives in some form. They have one valuable asset, which is Madewell, that I think can probably live on its own. And then,
Is that what they would do in that situation? Break Madewell out?
they were trying to go out there and take it public, actually. And then this whole market kind of totally threw it off. So I think in the idea that you can spin it off now is not possible. But, maybe part of the bankruptcy, the courts will say, go spin off Madewell, let it sell, and then go from there.
And let's just point out another retail concept that got put through the private equity ringer, which is why they are bankrupt.
Yeah.
Loaded up with debt,
TPG special.
and then
Yeah.
I think Leonard Green after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a loser.
Yeah.
Free #free Madewell.
Who's
Yeah.
your second loser?
My second loser, I'm looking for the quote so I don't butcher it, is Mayor Bill de Blasio
Okay.
of New York City. Had an interesting comment that I think got taken maybe out of context. Maybe he was directing it to them. I don't know. But he said on Twitter, my message to the Jewish community and all communities is this simple. The time for warnings has passed. I have instructed the NYPD to proceed immediately to summons or even arrest those who gather in large groups. This is about stopping this disease and saving lives, period. So he's talking about some of the more Orthodox Jewish communities in New York that are still gathering despite the coronavirus. I think the way he said it was a little alarming.
It's stupid, and he just singled out one community. Just say all communities.
Yeah. And so he and by the way, this is New York fucking City.
Yeah.
They run the city. This is not a town where they are the minority. This is a town where they are the majority.
They own all the real estate, they own everything.
They own everything.
Every building in New York City is owned by an Orthodox Jewish person or a Syrian Jewish person.
Yeah.
You don't piss off the Jewish people of New York City.
Yeah, that's like fucking with the mafia. Like, you just don't do it.
Yeah.
And so I understand what he was trying to say, but he fucked up.
Yeah.
So he's a loser.
Okay, we'll see how
big-time
this
loser.
plays out. I have a feeling we're not going to see any Orthodox Jews in handcuffs.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Anand, who you got?
People of Orange County.
Oh, wow.
Okay, wow.
They got the beach for a weekend, abused their privileges, and
Yep.
Governor Newsom shut it all down.
Yeah.
Stick your ass inside.
Yeah, they fucked us.
Yep,
I
that's
mean,
over.
give them an inch. They took 50 miles.
Yeah.
This is
they
why
did.
the opening has to be so slow.
This is why you can't. I mean, I'm just so conflicted on thinking about this. Like, I only trust our society if we shut down till the vaccine. I don't trust anyone.
No, but it's just going to be like, I don't know, what happens in like 3 more weeks when people say, fuck you, we're going to the beach, arrest all 40,000 of us.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
And then people see that worked and they're like, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to blah, blah, blah.
I'd love
Fuck
to
you, I'm
see-
opening my bar.
If anyone has any data on Orange County hospitals, if there's been a spike this week,
I
let us
know, tell us that.
Yeah.
They should be hitting right now.
That's the problem. Like, if Governor Newsom said the beaches are closed because you guys didn't listen, this is what happened in 7 days, then people can understand. They don't.
Yeah.
They just make rules without explaining.
Totally. Yep, I agree. Okay. My loser is Democrats, but in the specific, I want to be more specific because I think they're losers across the board. But in the handling of, now that Joe Biden is the guy for president, the way that they are handling and commenting on Joe Biden's allegations of inappropriate sort of touching, hugging, his weird, creepy old guy stuff. Not that I like know or care what happened. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. The point is, it seems like outrage culture, which was obviously more of a liberal thing, was very like believe all women, screw all men. If they say anything, they're right. And then everyone's being asked about this with Joe Biden, and they're saying, nah, he gave his explanation. I think that suffices. And it's like you just had this whole thing, but now that it's your guy, now you're faced with a tricky situation where you have to just act a totally different way.
Yeah.
And I think it was easy when it was Trump and when you can just sort of be outraged, and that's a right-wing thing,
Right.
Being creepy. But as soon as it's your dude, you don't have the same energy,
Yeah.
No, everyone's chosen to look the other way on this one.
Yeah, and I hate, that's just such a joke to me that like, if that's your stance, totally fine. If you believe all women, got it. But you better believe all women when someone close to you is also accused.
Of course, yeah, you're right.
Okay. Content recommendations, guys?
Mine is gonna be the blockbuster Extraction on Netflix. I know it came out last Friday.
I watched it.
A movie called
Yeah.
Extraction?
It looks unbelievable.
It is very entertaining. It's very good.
It's exceptional.
But
It's gonna be Dee's. It's just up Dee's alley.
Yeah.
It's like Fast and Furious on a budget.
Yeah.
With Indians and Bangladeshis.
Is there a star?
Chris
Is there any star?
Hemsworth,
Oh.
Thor, comes in to save the day.
Yeah.
That's
I've never
Save
seen
the
it.
little brown guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need a big, strong white man to save us.
Yeah. Big
That's why
bearded
I'm
white
here.
man. Yeah.
That was good, Pete. That was good.
Man,
Where
that's
would we be without the big, strong white man?
yeah, that's what people think when they see
I
you
didn't
running
pitch the
with Pete.
Wisconsin and cat thing because you just had to look at me.
It's great. I recommend it too. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. I've never seen a Chris Hemsworth movie.
Oh, it's badass. The dude fucking.
Did you watch
Cleans
it?
house.
You watched it, right?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do a little throwback and
Wait, I have my content.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
It's Tim's favorite segment, my 5 rom-coms.
Oh, you're still going with that.
Wait, what
I'm
happened?
just-
I missed that last week or whatever.
Last 3 weeks, every Friday, I've given 5 rom-coms that me and Amanda have watched during
5 a
quarantine.
week?
5 a week. We're just cranking through content.
And this is the only thing.
I haven't missed what? You said 5 rom-coms when I was here? Oh my God.
Rifle through 15.
No, because I left early, I think. I
We're
think
at
those were days I
16.
left early. If I heard 5 rom-coms, I'm losing my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you have Sleepy Joe dementia.
Hey, man. Where are we? Okay, what is
Tim's
it?
favorite segment, my best friend's wedding to Julia Roberts.
Okay.
Trainwreck with the King.
Classic.
That's a good one.
Big Sick.
Good
The
one.
Holiday with Cameron Diaz and Jack Black. And then this we watched last night, right up your alley, D, Something Borrowed with Kate Hudson.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's great. This is from like 2011. Tim, do you approve? What are your...
Something Borrowed is probably the best of that.
Wow.
Okay,
Never
so
heard of
Tim
it.
says Something Borrowed is the best of the list.
I gotta watch that. I've been looking for some good. I've really been struggling with finding movies to watch.
You just got to go back in time.
Yeah, I have too
Don't
much.
try to stay current with all the new Netflix.
Yeah, it's too much decision fatigue. You should put that on the newsletter or something. I feel like you could do something with this 5 a week rom-com.
Yeah, we've got 20 I'll give them to you, Taylor, to put out a newsletter.
And has any been terrible?
No, I think like
Yeah.
Amanda's choosing it, so she's curating it.
It's just what you guys are doing.
And
Quarantine.
Yeah.
I don't want too much seriousness and thought.
Just want a little
I
No, that's
just
true.
want to laugh a little.
humor.
Too much thought in the world right now. Okay. All right. Mine's a throwback. Sorry, Pete. It is a book, but it's because we were just talking about it before we started. Bitcoin Billionaires.
Yes.
Okay.
You haven't shut up about this book.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
love this
Anand and I
book.
were talking about it months ago, and Anand finally picked it up. And Anand's way more of a Bitcoin expert than I am, but even me not knowing much about it, really good, really well written book. Gives you a totally different perspective on how the poor Winklevi were portrayed.
Yeah.
I feel very bad for them. And all their billions and
So I'm
their
like
white-
100 pages in. The Winklevi might be two of the most impressive people,
Yeah.
period.
And misrepresented.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I'm sure they're doing just fine, but I
Yeah.
feel terrible.
The Soho apartment that they describe pre-Bitcoin sounded pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's important to have empathy for the elites as well. And
Yeah,
I
of
just,
course.
Empathy for the good-looking athletic Olympian.
They're just like
billionaire.
us.
You know what? I'll give you
just
one thing.
like
They're
us.
not good looking. They're ugly guys.
Well,
They're
that's
like-
your opinion.
They're the,
Pete's like, they're hot as shit.
like if it was Army,
simply just saying it's your
Army
opinion.
Hammer who played them, he's a good looking guy.
Oh, I guess
Yeah,
I probably
that's
haven't
just-
even
You
seen it.
think it's Army Hammer?
Oh my gosh.
And
It's like, what do you
he played
mean?
both, right?
What?
That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, he played both characters.
Yeah, I
but
gotta
like
look at
Army
these
Hammer,
guys.
I agree. He's a great looking guy. The actual Winklevoss are not lookers. They're just 0 feet tall white guy. That's like your thing. then
But
yeah.
you know the chicks, like these big jockey buff,
Yeah.
they have to be good looking to go.
Oh yeah, those dudes are ugly as fuck. I've seen them before.
You thought it was the guy from
No. I've seen them before, but like for some reason I was only thinking of the ones in the
Well,
movie,
good
and I
thing
was
they're
like, okay.
billionaires now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
No, I've seen these guys before. Yeah, they're ugly.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, well, you know what, guys, if you're listening, I feel for you, you know? You've dealt with a lot.
Yeah, send them the pod.
Okay. Is that it? Yep.
We got a couple throw twos.
Okay.
Round up. Had D back on.
Yeah. What? Roundup and what?
We had the roundup and we had D back on.
Yeah.
for
So
a
the
second
Roundup
time.
is the hottest show on earth.
Yes, absolutely booming.
Actually, Davey Day Trader reached out and asked how we do it, and
Wow.
we said can't tell our secrets. Just pure entertaining content. It is 2 times a week.
Tuesday, Thursdays.
So if you're missing us a lot on Tuesdays and Thursdays when we're not on, we have the Roundup for you. It's on IGTV and
It's a great
YouTube.
like BTS.
I think the
Great
show should be
talking.
called Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I agree.
I think that's a better name.
I mean, we can make a change. We're early on.
I just think
People
that's
just
just
love.
Roundup's a little generic.
Roundup is a ripoff of Barstool. Let's be honest.
It's an exact ripoff. The entire
What
structure.
do they have?
Rundown.
Everything- The rundown, and it's the same exact.
I
Structure.
think it should be Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
T's
What
and
if we want to
T's.
have it more than Tuesday and Thursday?
We can't.
You can't.
Okay.
I mean, number one, we're not into it.
Yeah.
But Dee was back on. Dee, this is Dee's second appearance. He talked about his love, his dream car.
Yeah.
Not
So-
only his dream car, but then he's talking about why he's buying porn ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he talked about porn and his dream car. So real man's man episode.
Yeah.
You might be surprised by the answers, but
Like, who knew?
Yeah, and then I'm guessing Anand will be next, and then hopefully they call me again.
Well,
So
who knows? We're willing to expand outside of just you three. Don't think you guys are everything.
I think you should have Tim on because nobody's really seen Tim.
Who's Tim? See,
Wow.
the people need to know.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just trying.
Well played.
I know who Tim is.
Okay, and then what was the other one?
Tim's got
just
a big,
newsletter.
No, doesn't Tim
yeah.
have a big
Yeah,
release?
that's going to be our outro.
Well,
So newsletter, group-chat.com.
Correct.
Sign up for our newsletter. It's great. Taylor's been doing a really good job, really good newsletters over the Corona lockdown. And then our big news. Our boy Tim. I know you guys don't hear a lot from Tim. I'll tell you, he looks, what's he look like? A what, jarhead?
Meth jarhead.
Okay, meth.
That just came back.
just came back from
Afghanistan.
a tour, 2 tours in the Middle East.
Like he's, probably has a couple of medals. but just hates, kind of probably angry at America right
Yeah,
now.
wife cheated on him while he was gone.
Yeah.
The baby was born. He's coming back to a 3-year-old.
Yeah, he's having to get a divorce because he married the girl before he left.
So and we love Tim. The reason why we say that is he has a new military haircut. He has a mustache.
Sally couldn't wait for Tim while he was abroad.
Sally could not wait.
Sally was a bit
No.
too horny.
She slept with his coworker or his childhood
Best friend,
buddy.
right?
Yeah, best friend.
That's the movie.
Jimmy
Yeah.
said that he would watch over.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, he
boy,
sure
oh
did.
boy, did he ever.
Boy, did he ever.
He was right on top of her, if you know what I mean. So anyway, he's been having a tough time. But anyway, Tim's a great guy. He's a member of our family here at Group Chat. You might hear him laughing in the background,
A little
which
chuckle.
is something we really appreciate. He's got a very loud and
Contagious.
yeah, and it just makes you feel good. Like when
Yeah.
you're on here on the couch and you're trying to land a couple hot ones, and then you hear
And
Tim
then you
go
hear
off.
Tim come in.
Yeah.
You feel
know
good
you
about
got it.
yourself.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Tim. He's our engineer. Does a great job. That being said, when he's not recovering from his war memories, he's actually making music.
Yep.
And that's Tim's real dream, is to be a musician. And tomorrow he is releasing a new single. So what we decided we're going to do is we're going to take us out of here with whatever snippet Tim will give us of his new song. Tim, this is on you. You're the engineer here. So you can play the whole song if you want. I wouldn't suggest it.
He just doesn't put out the episode, and it's just his song.
Just his song. just this part and his song.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Tim.
So good.
So Tim's going to play a snippet of his new single. It's out tomorrow on all streaming platforms.
Where
yeah,
do they
Tim.
search your name?
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
It's like the chocolate, but with an M.
So Tim
Gamache.
Tim Gamache.
Nice. Okay, so there you go. Tim, take us out of here.
Make me over. I need to start again. Make me over. I need to start again.
Wow, what a song.